Welcome back to Wheel Rever, and when you first walk up to the 2025 Honda ADV 160, the impression it gives off is that this isn't your typical scooter. Most people think of scooters as small, lightweight, often cute or practical machines built just to get you from point A to point B. The ADV, however, has a very different vibe. It stands taller, carries sharper lines, and looks like it's been influenced more by an adventure motorcycle than by a Vespa or a PCX. The bold angles in the front fascia, the aggressive LED headlights, and the stance with that extra ground clearance all whisper or maybe even shout that this is a scooter ready for more than just paved roads. Even parked at the curb, it communicates that sense of versatility. Once you get on, the seating position immediately feels different from a normal step-through scooter. You're sitting upright with a commanding view of the road, and the handlebars are positioned so you don't feel cramped. Honda clearly designed it with comfort in mind for riders of a wide range of heights. At just a little over 30 inches in seat height, most riders can flat-foot it at a stop, yet you're still perched high enough to have that motorcycle-like perspective when rolling through traffic. The windshield in front of you can be adjusted by hand to two different positions, so whether you want a little more wind protection on the highway or you prefer a lower stance for city commuting, it adapts quickly without tools. On the move, the ADV 160's engine character is exactly what you'd expect from Honda: smooth, refined, and reliable. That 157cc single-cylinder with liquid cooling doesn't pretend to be a powerhouse, but it feels well matched to the mission of the bike. Twist the throttle and the CVT transmission delivers a seamless, linear surge that gets you up to city speeds quickly and without trauma. In dense traffic, the scooter feels right at home, being nimble, easy to maneuver, and slim enough to weave through tight spots if your local laws allow lane filtering. It thrives in the environment most of us spend our riding time in: city streets, suburban roads, and short stretches of highway. Push it further, and you'll find its limits. Around 65 miles per hour is where it begins to run out of breath. For riders who want to spend significant time on freeways, that may not be enough. But for commutes that mix urban traffic with the occasional highway exit, it holds its own. You'll notice that the torque curve gives you decent punch off the line and enough mid-range to climb hills without feeling sluggish. The selectable traction control is something rare in scooters of this class. Adds an extra layer of reassurance when riding in wet conditions or when the road surface is sketchy. Suspension is one of the ADV 160's strong suits. Honda partnered with Showa, and the result is a setup that doesn't just feel adequate, it actually feels adventurous. The front telescopic fork has more travel than your average scooter, and the dual rear shocks with reservoirs look like something borrowed from a proper adventure bike. Ride it over potholes, gravel paths, or uneven city streets, and you immediately understand why Honda gave this scooter the ADV badge. It soaks up imperfections without losing composure, giving you confidence that you won't get rattled when the pavement disappears for a block or two. One thing riders do point out is that the suspension can feel a little firm at lower speeds or on smoother roads. That's the compromise Honda made. It's designed to handle more rugged surfaces, so it won't float along like a soft commuter scooter. For some riders that translates into a harsher ride over small bumps. Others see it as a positive, since it provides a planted, stable feel at higher speeds and when carrying a passenger. Braking is handled with a front disc equipped with ABS and a rear drum. At first glance, a rear drum might seem outdated, but it's part of keeping the scooter affordable and simple to maintain. In practice, the braking system feels balanced, with ABS kicking in only when needed, giving you peace of mind if you have to grab a handful of brake on a slick road. Now let's talk practicality, because no scooter review is complete without it. Storage is generous at 27 liters under the seat means you can easily stash a full-face helmet or groceries. Add in the small glove box compartment at the front with a built-in USB port, and you've got your phone charging while your backpack or shopping bag is tucked away safely below. For everyday commuting, these details make a huge difference. The flat floorboard isn't as open as some step-throughs because of the adventure styling, but there's still room for small bags at your feet. Honda even includes a handy hook for securing items you want quick access to. Fuel economy is another highlight. That 2.1-gallon tank, combined with Honda's efficient engine, gives you impressive range. Riders report fuel consumption in the 90 miles per gallon ballpark, meaning you can easily squeeze 180 miles or more from a tank. Compare that to the cost of filling up a car, and the scooter makes financial sense as a daily runner. The Adverb 160 also comes with Honda's smart key system, which is one of those features you don't know you need until you use it. Walk up with the fob in your pocket, twist the ignition dial, and you're good to go and no digging around for keys. It also allows keyless access to the fuel tank and the underseat storage. In a world where scooters are all about convenience, that little touch makes life smoother. When it comes to design, Honda nailed the look. The bike comes in color options like pearl blue, matte black metallic, and others depending on market. The lines are bold, the front end looks like a miniature adventure motorcycle, and the rear has that chunky, purposeful feel. LED lighting all around not only looks modern but also enhances visibility. The cockpit features a crisp digital display that shows all your basic info clearly as speed, fuel level, trip meters, and indicators for ABS and traction control. Comparisons are inevitable. Against Honda's own PCX 160, the Adverb feels more rugged and versatile, while the PCX leans toward elegance and pure city commuting. Against Yamaha's NMAX, the Adverb stands out with its taller stance, adventure styling, and extra ground clearance. It's almost in a class of its own. A few scooters are designed to look this adventurous while remaining so practical. As for pricing, hovering around $4,499 MSRP in the US makes it one of the more premium scooters in its displacement class, but you're paying for the added features, styling, and Honda's reputation for reliability. Think about what you get: ABS, traction control, LED lighting, Showa suspension, smart key, generous storage, and a unique look. For many riders, that package justifies the extra cost over a bare-bones scooter. From an ownership perspective, Honda scooters have a legendary reputation for durability. Oil changes, belt inspections, and tire replacements are straightforward, and parts availability is strong worldwide. For someone who wants a scooter that will last years with minimal fuss, the Adverb 160 is a smart bet. Resale values on Hondas also tend to stay higher than competitors, which helps offset the initial investment. The emotional appeal shouldn't be underestimated either. This scooter doesn't just function well, it feels fun to ride. There's something uplifting about gliding through city traffic on a machine that looks ready for an adventure, even if your destination is just the office or a cafe told to copyright. Riders often talk about how scooters bring back the simple joy of riding, and the Adverb 160 adds a layer of attitude to that joy. It's not trying to be intimidating, it's approachable, friendly, and stylish, but it also looks tougher than the average runabout. In short, the 2025 Honda Adverb 160 is more than a commuter. It's a statement that practicality doesn't have to be boring. It's about making the everyday ride feel like something you look forward to, whether that's dodging traffic in the city or sneaking down a gravel road just to see where it goes. For riders looking for something dependable, fuel-efficient, and fun, with just enough adventure spirit baked in, the Adverb 160 stands tall as one of the most unique scooters in its class.